You guys know what it is. It's the one, the only P1 right here, guys, in the building. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It has been a little bit since it's been a little bit since I really uploaded, and I can't even really say this is an upload. This is more of just a conversation, more of a conversational kind of hour. But this is once again, our lovely friend, the one and only Cold Open, and we are back, and we're back here. Right, normally, if you know the channel well, you know the channel well, you know the station well, you know this time of day normally would be the time to prep for the one with Live on the Cut. You know, Live on the Cut is on hiatus for the time being. It will be returning, maybe it'll be returning. I want to say in June, but maybe now, after with further talks, we're pushing it back to maybe July. But this would usually be the one and only time slot for this program but we are here and we are live right now, and it is a nice one. It's been a nice Wednesday night, and I figured we could take some time. We can chat about some stuff. Of course, we're gonna talk about Thursday Night Wars, of course, because that's just a staple here on Cold Open. It's just Thursday Night Wars, but we have other things. We have a bunch of glorious other things to talk about here on this evening, and I see we have him and Charlie Mason and River all here in our chat. Hope you guys are doing well wherever you guys are. Hope you guys are doing safe in all of these uncertain times. But anyway, let's head into the uncertain roads. And the uncertain roads is the future. In the one road that's always uncertain in many regards is the future. No doubt about it. The future is something that is always something that we never know what to expect. We never know what will happen. Things that we don't see in our world. The future, something that, things that we get excited for, things that we also maybe worry about to a great extent. And right now, my channel, if I'm being honest, is at a really uncertain road, if I'm being quite honest. I've had a lot of stuff happen to me lately. I'm not going to go too deep into a lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff has happened to me, and it's been kind of kick me to the curb a little bit. Losing some motivation, losing motivation is something that YouTubers, it's bound to happen to a great degree. Is just the loss of motivation and to do a lot of things that you once quite enjoyed. The energy, the motivation, the give, and the life in there sometimes after a little bit just isn't there anymore. And for anybody wondering who's thinking I'm going to leave YouTube or anything like that, no, I'm not even close. I'm not leaving YouTube. Definitely not, especially because I'm helping out. Especially because right now I'm helping out David with a lot of stuff. I really consider myself an EP for a lot of the stuff that he's doing right now. I'm just working so much behind the scenes for the dude. And if you haven't checked out David's channel, be sure to check out his channel because he's doing great things. Because he's going to be doing some great things over there, and he deserves all the praise for the stuff that he's doing. Like you guys don't know, I consider myself the EP of Chilling 3000 Hangouts mainly because I've created I created the music there. I got the background for him, and I've gotten a lot of stuff for that program. So, I'm putting a lot of time, a lot of investment and energy into that. So definitely be sure to check that out. But only be sure to check that out because, I put a lot of energy in all this. So speaking of David Dawson, here he is in the chat. So be sure to check out a lot of that stuff because that stuff is stuff that personally I'm proud of, especially because, he's going to be hyping up something really soon for his channel. And I'm not going to say what it is because I'm going to let him do that himself. But I put work into that. And anything that I put work into, there's gonna be a piece of me in that. And well, of course, I'm gonna give you a promotion because I'm helping you out with a lot of stuff. So of course you should get the promotion for. And so of course you should be getting the promotion for that. That's just how things should work. So be sure to check out, what's going on in the channel because like I said, I have a huge involvement with certain things there, and there's a piece of me in that even though sometimes I'm not there like I wasn't there last Sunday because I was at work. But be sure to check out what he's doing over there because, like I said, great stuff all the way around. But back to where we were talking about losing motivation. There are times where lately, like I haven't had motivation, and it doesn't help so much when people are constantly talking shit about you. That doesn't make the matters any better. You have to deal with some stuff, and you have to stay strong and avoid these things. And it makes things hard. It makes things, rough on you to be able to continue to do what you want to do, continue to do what you like to do, and just, and have to worry about people who just want to hold you back. It's something that it's rough. It's rough witnessing, it's rough seeing, but it's something that is common to many degrees. And like I said, it's something that just absolutely sucks. It really does. Um, Not feeling the energy to do what you love and to do what you really like to do when you really want to do it, because because there are moments where I enjoy sitting right here in front of this camera. I enjoy talking and communicating with a lot of people, and I enjoy, working a lot of stuff. But the one thing that people know about me is, and the one thing that I very much make clear is that I'm just not going to do things any kind of way. That's just not who I am. I'm not going to do stuff any kind of way, and that's not a disrespect to anybody, but it's just if things need to be done a certain way, they need to be done a certain way, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts around that sort of way. They need to be done, and they need to be handled in such manner to where if you don't do it this way, there's trouble, there's chaos, there's many things that can go wrong by not doing certain things this way. And people know that, like, if there's something that needs to get done a certain way, I'm going to do it that certain way. If something, and I don't tell people this, but if something that, people give me looks tacky, if something like looks tacky and just unorganized, something like that, I'm not going to do it like that because that's just not going to look good. Because I'm all about looking good, looking neat, looking clean, looking professional, looking at your best, being at your best, being at the best level that you can be. That's what I've been all about this year. That's what my channel's been about, being the best, being everything the best, to the point where like I'm writing scripts much before showtime sometimes because it's just about performing at that high level, being at that high level, because that's something that just matters. Performing at performing at that standard, holding yourself to that standard, and building an even higher standard. Because you've been here before. You know what this is. You know how to do this. So of course, when that stuff happens, the standard's much higher. Which is also why, like I said, I'm doing stuff behind this, which is also why I've also taken more roles behind the scenes because I really do enjoy helping out, helping out people, making stuff for other people, and helping people make better content. Because even though this has been my best run on YouTube ever, I really don't consider it a run on YouTube for me. I really consider it me doing a service for other people and building a connection with other people and building a relationship with other people. Because in reality, although I haven't, even though sometimes I may be the biggest dick ever, I may be the biggest dick ever, and I may point out something about something that I don't like, but if I do that, it's because, again, I'm just not going to have something be done any kind of way that doesn't make sense and that just doesn't work. Because anytime I do my stuff, anytime I do something for myself, that's my name, that's my standard, that's my reputation on the line. All this, certain things, when we do all this stuff, we're putting ourselves on the line, And when something that doesn't go down happens, that's my reputation. That's me that is thrown out. And I'm very straightforward to the point because the thing is, I'm not afraid to tell you you're a piece of shit when you're a piece of shit. Because that's just how life is. That's just how reality is. Because we just got it. Because sometimes we have to cut to the chase. We can't because we can't just lead on lots of times. And there are times where I certainly have felt left on with certain things. I felt out of the equation, felt lost, and taken a few steps back. But in great or in a lot of ways, we have to be very blunt. We have to be very killer. And then we may need to cut something open. We may need to rip you open, but don't rip someone open if you can't repair, if you can't fix what you've done. That's one of the big things I do, because the thing is, I'm probably the biggest criticizer of anyone in our community. I probably am, because I see the ways of getting better. I see moving forward. I'm not seeing just this stream, and this kind of goes into Thursday Night Wars a little bit. I'm not seeing just week 2 of the Thursday Night Wars. I'm seeing week 6, week 7, week 8. I'm seeing, even though this is supposed to be going for 3 months, I'm seeing that near end of that 3-month period. I'm seeing the further road, not just the stop sign for me. I'm seeing, the further road down the hill almost in a lot of certain regards, which is why I always say, perform at your best. Do your highest. Do the best that you can. Do not be afraid to step out of the box. And while Tuesday Talk knew about it, if you haven't seen Tuesday Talk, while Tuesday Talk was definitely something different, gave a new perspective. I think it provided the way for what became Cold Open, and the direction that Cold Open is where it is today. I don't think Tuesday Talk, if I really put the engine I've really made into a series, I don't think it would have had the substantial long-term potential that Tuesday Talk will at least have until Live Uncut at least returns back in July. And many people are wondering about the lounge. Oh my God, I need to work out something for the lounge. Thank you very much, Bubbling Five. You kind of ruined the lounge. But I do need to work out something for the lounge, because I know the lounge is something people very much enjoy. I enjoy it myself, but again, it kind of goes back to kind of just losing the motivation in a great regard, because I have to be in a really great mood to do the lounge, because if I feel like I'm not in the right mood, I feel like it's not going to be a great show, because again, I'm the mediator for all the crazy personalities on YouTube. No doubt about it. I'm the guy who directs the traffic, who drives the boat, who drives the car down this road. And while people are very much basically doing a great job of telling road trip stories to keep, the ride entertaining, there's still a drive, there's still a destination that needs to be reached. There's still a goal that's in mind. There's an endpoint that we are needing to reach. This isn't just let's fill up 20, 30 minutes of airtime. No, far from that. Because if anything, if I want to fill 20 minutes, 30 minutes of airtime, I could just have, just a standing microphone for 20, 30 minutes, just waving in the air for 20, 30 minutes, if I ever needed to just be desperate and fill airtime. But again, it's not about just filling airtime to me, because anybody can fill in airtime. It's about keeping people interested and developing connections. It's about the connection, the emotion, the energy, what you get when you put everything together. The XYZ of stuff, not the ABC, but the XYZ. Not the beginning, but the end. Not the destination, but the journey. Because you gotta enjoy the journey. Because you at least gotta enjoy the journey before you get to the destination. You just got to, for a lot of stuff. And lately, I can't say I haven't been enjoying the journey, because for a lot of stuff I've enjoyed, but I definitely need to say that it's time to maybe take another turn. And many people can argue I've taken a lot of turns as it is because my content never, except for Live on the Cut for the most part, has never had a consistent kind of a road. It's always been curvy. And that's what, and in a way, I kind of like that because if anything, it keeps me from getting complacent because I could be doing an episode of a show I could be doing the same show each and every single week. But after a while, there's only so much times you can tell the same joke, before it just loses interest. It's like Match Game in the 80s and 90s when Match Game was kind of a struggling show, was in a lot of ways, while it was still a strong show in much regards, it was kind of a struggling show because times had changed at that point in the 80s and 90s. Times had changed. People have changed, The subtleties that were once funny in the 70s, nobody finds as funny in that 80-90 period. And some people don't even find that funny today. It's that thing of you have to keep moving along as time's moving along. You have to adapt while you still can. You have to learn how to live under these new conditions if you want to be surviving, if you want to survive, if you want to push it to the finish, if you want to win the race, you have to continue on that long jog, because life is not going to, because at the end of the day, life slows down for nobody. The world slows down for nobody, and you have to be able to sometimes adapt on the fly. There are many times where I've had to change my script mid-program because of something that happened on program. And that's something that comes along with being a streamer. So it comes along with being a content creator is changing your stuff on the fly and handling it well and keeping your composure, not losing it on camera. And it's a lot. Now, do I think everybody handles the job well? Of course not. No, because not everyone is cut out for this world that is the streaming, that is the streamer life. And that's just the blunt truth. Some people just aren't cut out for this. And I'm not calling out anybody. I'm not saying anyone in particular isn't cut out, because why do that? Why do that? But some people can't handle this life. Some people can't handle the ability of being able to handle stuff on the fly, being able to change topic on the fly, being able to go from 0 to 100 in a minute. Some people can't handle it because the streamer life is a tough life. That's just the name of the game. That's just the name of the game. And you have to, push forward and drive to the end of the road. Because if you don't, because that's all what the program is about. Driving, pushing, continuing, and striving to get better and evolve. And that's what I got to do with my channel. As much as there's some stuff I love doing and some stuff I continue doing, I feel like if I want to really make the most out of this run that I'm trying to have, if I want to make this successful, this fairly decent run of YouTube more successful, I have to do some different things. I have to. And I'm not, and this is not me cutting ties with anybody. This is not me saying, oh, well, fuck you guys. I'll see you guys never again. No, this is not like that. No, not at all. Because if anything, you guys helped me get to this point, and there's more for us. But there's also more for me. But anyway, let's go into Thursday Night Wars. Because I know many people, I think, have been waiting for me to talk about Thursday Night Wars. Okay, so this week is week number 3 of Thursday Night Wars. Podcast versus Hangman Outcast. Hangman Outcast has sweeping Rant and Rave 2 weeks in a row now. In case you don't know, on the right side, Mr. Brandon Martin is not going to be there again, as last week his position was taken place by the one and only Eric Lima, the veteran. If there's anyone in our community who's really a veteran of YouTube, it is no doubt about it, Mr. Eric Lima. He is skilled. He knows. He's been here. He's been here since the dark days. So there's anyone who is here who's really a veteran, who I consider a veteran of this community, is no doubt about it, the one and only Eric Lima. Um, but yeah, but here we go. Here we are. Red Podcasting, man. Um, Andrew, Eric Lima, he admitted that, because the one thing, like I said earlier, hosting a show is hard. It's a hard thing to do because you have to keep people interested for however long you're going to be on. And lots of times, and the biggest thing that I think that makes it hard is you never know what's on people's minds. You never know. You never know what someone's interests are. And that makes it hard for you to figure out what's going to grab their interest. Because even though you know some things that a person likes, you don't know everything a person likes, you know. So you never know how well this is going to do versus how well this is going to do. And you have to consider that in mind. There are moments where people are going to just dip and tip out because that just happens in the world of streaming and podcasts. There are moments where people are going to enjoy this segment more than this segment. That's just the reality of the situation. And for some people handle that really well. Some people, not so much. But in terms of, Eric, I think Eric this week is going to do much better. He's more, he's gotten into that main position. So I think, he can run the show. I think he'll be doing a great, competent job as a host and as a content creator. I think he'll do very well. But So I wish Eric, nothing but the best. Brandon, hope you're doing well and your time off, and hope you enjoy your time off. Because I know after 70 something consecutive shows of R&R, time off might be very beneficial for you. So I hope that is very much beneficial for you. But we have these two shows, and Heyman Outcast, I will admit, was a much better program this week. Props to Hangman and Tom and David over there on the Hangman Outcast. They did a better job of rounding the program more. And overall, the environment I felt was much better. It was much more lifted atmosphere. Hangman also got some lady foe, which also very much helped him out as well. Little details like that can make the big difference in quality. And I think with just stuff like that, I think it made the program a much more enjoyable program to watch. The program, like I said, when it grounds itself, I think the program is at its best because the environment is relaxed. The environment's relaxed. It doesn't. The unpredictability, it's still there, but it's not like it's too much unpredictability. It's not like it's overwhelming unpredictability. It's enough that if you haven't seen it before, you can kind of cruise back with it and kind of take a step back. Those little things make big differences in the program, and hopefully they can continue in this direction. If they do, I think it will benefit the program that much better. I think it will benefit the program that much better. Rant and Rave. I think it was another episode of Rant and Rave. Andrew Hawking was still there in the absence of the Little, but we also had two new co-hosts. We also had two special guest co-hosts in Scorpion Death Drop and in Tricky, which were very surprising people to see on Rant and Rave. Out of all people, I did not expect to see them. They did all right for their first outing. For their first outing with the program, I think they did all right. Maybe they, I don't think 5 people for an R&R is, I think that's a little much. I think 4 people sometimes can be a little much, but they're doing their program, and at the end of the day, I think as long as they continue to do well, I think they will do just fine. And for my thing with Andrew, and because I've seen people talk about Andrew. My thing with Andrew is, because Andrew has his own show, the Andrew Hawking Show. The thing is, I hate to be that guy, but people just dip out of that show. And this is not me being a dick. This is not me being an idiot or anything like that. Because if anything, it is a quickie. It is a quickie in retrospect. But the thing is, with Andrew, his show sometimes, and sometimes I thought I could be boring sometimes, but man, Andrew's delivery on certain things, I think could help. I think he needs to learn how to deliver some things better so they sound better. And this is not, and like I said, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to be rude about it, but I'm saying it how it is. And this is not me trying to start a competition with them or anything like that. Because if anything, I'm going to just say my piece on some stuff, and that's going to be that. Take it however you will. But the thing with Andrew is, he flatlined, and I hate to say that, but he kind of flatlines his, he doesn't have enough delivery, I think, for his own show. And sometimes watching that, and he also talks about things that don't really appeal to certain people. Like, don't get me wrong, if you're trying to attract wrestling people, that's all cool and all. If you want to attract wrestling, hey, do your thing. But for the most part, a lot of people just don't care about wrestling. Like, because if I'm being honest, people, don't care about how long the match went. Lots of times. People just don't really care about how long the match went, because it's not so much about how long the match went, it's about who won the match and how they won. In more cases than, they went 20 minutes or so, And he also has a segment of the show where he'll ask questions, and if there's ever a moment for, like, if someone ever decides to make like an Andrew Hawking rage compilation, this would be like the perfect thing to add on to it. Is just Andrew Hawking like losing his cool, like, because you can see him kind of lose his cool because he'll ask the audience for questions, but the thing is he'll have like no audience. Like, he'll have no audience, but yet he's expecting people to ask him questions, and and it's like, I think he could go without like that little break in the program, and because that's also just a big break in the program for a program that doesn't need a big break into it. Like, I think he needs to learn how to talk into a microphone. That's the big thing with Andrew, I think, is learning how to talk into a microphone and learning how to make things sound congruent and make things sound interesting. And again, I'm not saying this to be a dick, but I want your program. But I'm saying that because I want your program to get views. I want your program to get as many views as I just had in here earlier. And that's not even, I didn't have a big amount of views. But I think your program could use stepping up because, if anything, I was looking at the ratings for your program and they're already kind of starting to dip. Like, let's see, Andrew. Oh, yeah. Because episode 3 of the Andrew Hawking Show has only 25 viewers for the whole thing. And that was a week ago. So in only 2 episodes, he went from the first episode went from 127 views. Then episode 2, the ratings went down to 67. Then we go down to 25 and then 24 for the last episode. he had good views on the first episode. The first episode for a lot of stuff usually does particularly well. And that is true, Charlie. He is an established name on Arnold. And I figured, hey, even though Cold Open is not, even though sometimes I like Cold Open to be a solo platform, I do, because we are talking about Thursday Night Wars, I do think we should have people who are active in Thursday Night Wars be in here. We can have an honest discussion. And I can say some stuff to your face. I can say some stuff to your face because, and that's what I do. But yeah, it's Thursday Night Wars, and again, and I'm not, and the thing is, I think Andrew has, and because anyone, and I shouldn't say this, but this is kind of true to a great extent. Anyone who can turn on a camera has potential to do something great on this platform. And that's kind of sad to say. But it's a true thing to say nonetheless. That if you can operate a camera, you can potentially make you could be potentially the next PewDiePie. In retrospect, in a huge little retrospect. Oh, and here he is, the one and only Mr. Antichrist Priest, Hangman Charlie.
What's going on? If you hear any background noise, that's my apologies. I'm at work, but other than that, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. Doing well. How about you?
Doing good. I'm going to be doing a Chilling at the Gals episode 14 after I get off, and I was hoping to get off by 10. I don't think I will be. But the casualties of the shot. Yeah, I'm gonna mention something about Andrew, and again, I love Andrew. Andrew's my boy. I can't really, I hate talking critiquing him because I know he's the one problem with him, and I think he's a person that does not like criticism. And so me telling him this may hurt his feelings, but you know what? Maybe this is the reality. Okay. As far as you getting your research done, whether it's your matches, whether it's this or that, you're good on research when it comes to that.
Yeah.
The problem is not that. Is the problem of the lack of personality. Yeah. Shut it down, man. Oh, we're good? Is there anything on the line that needs to watch the film? I already got everything. Everything's good? All right. Sorry about that. Anyway, I was getting the cue that I can get the my side of things good to go. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh. Go to pizza and tell William, hey, what dishes you got so I can shut it down. Okay. All right. I'm back. All right. So, what do you call it? 1 second. Do you have anything for me to take? That's it. Okay. Thank you. All right. Now I'm back. All right. So, back to Andrew has no personality, or is lacking it a lot. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yes, much agreed. There's times where he sounds like just dying cardboard. I mean, you can say that. He just does sometimes.
And because I haven't watched them from start to finish really since the first one. But I've seen the parts where he's getting frustrated over people not asking. Let's be real here. Besides the first episode, he does not have enough people. Feedback, but he does not have enough people to do a Q&A who are watching him consistently. So, as some advice, I think he should let that go. Let the Q&A part go until he has enough people to do it. And I will hold no qualms saying this, Rant and Rave, one of the key factors in Rant and Rave's failure is Andrew. Because of all the people they decided to bring back, Andrew, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brandon, but that was a seriously missed cast for a host.
I'll say this though. Back at like when I started doing the host with Andrew, at the start we weren't supposed to have any stuff, but since like before David and the co-host, he was on like twice, and then they decided to give them the co-host.
I'm getting the bit thing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just trying to get this done. But anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, and I will hold by this statement again, is that Andrew, with the show dying as badly as it has been recently, this proves that Andrew is nothing, and again, he can improve. But as of right now, Andrew is nothing more than a sidekick. He is not a leading, he is like a co-star. He is not a leading man. And that is just the God's honest truth.
Agreed.
But even as a sidekick, he's not like he brings like, and again, Andrew, if you watch this, I love you. No homo. But the fact is that I'm just telling you how it is. But even as a sidekick, he brings people down. And not in a depressing matter. It's just the fact that he just is dead air. I've said this many times. And even with David, like I had one big critique with him from last week's episode. He went way too long on that game show topic. He knows this. I told David, we need to find your purpose on this show. I believe I found it to a certain extent, but or at least something right now, which will be premiering tomorrow. But I did tell him he was talking for way too long. And David, I'm going to say this too, because I have no qualms critiquing my own cast members. I liked the rant and rave hype video that you did, but I think your biggest issue, maybe with pre-record videos, is that sometimes you go too long to the point where it gets kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It goes too long and it kind of disengages people. I don't think you needed 16 minutes to do a hype video.
You really don't. You barely need 10. You barely need 10 minutes to do a hype video.
Like, okay, I'm going to use this as an example. When I did the hype video this past week, I think it was like 10 minutes, but that was hyping two things at once. That was hyping just dropped some. Oh, well. Okay, it goes in thing. Yeah, I'm like doing a stream and I'm dropping shit. But anyway, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Look, that's everything. So we just need to wipe down this stuff and shut everything down. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So I was hyping two things at once. I was hyping the HCPW Open Weight Championship Tournament this Monday, and I was hyping up the Thursday Night Wars because I thought it was better just to hype up two things. I did the Thursday Night War first, so that way if that's what people wanted to see, they could stand and watch it, and they wanted to continue watching, they'd see the HCPW hype video. I thought that was a smart thing to do. David, for you, and again, you have some good stuff on that video, but the problem was it went too long. My advice for you when you do these Thursday, unless you're doing a stream, but even with a stream, I don't think it should go that long. But as far as the stream, or as far as the video, I'd say where your sweet spot should be at least 5 to 7 minutes. what's your opinion on that phenomenal one?
Oh yeah, I agree because like we were saying, like 16 minutes, I think that's a little much because of like the thing is with you, Dave. When you come to promotion stuff, you need to learn how to just keep it. You need to learn how to just be to the point.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have that issue too sometimes. I've told David this too.
Oh yeah, we've known about your issue.
Yes, many issues. But like nowadays, if I'm just coming in to promote stuff, if I'm not coming in here to talk or just have a good time or just shoot the shit, I'm gonna be like, ladies and gentlemen, this is God talking, Christ Himself reborn. Go check out the Real Man's podcast, the Hangman Outcast, this Thursday. All right, peace out, guys. Or I just type it into the comment. I was thinking about doing that, but I was like, no, this is more of a serious cut. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep it calm, cool, collective. But one thing I'm glad, Brandon has admitted that Andrew is a temporary co-host, but I'm sorry. But the fact is that every time, I'm not saying Andrew's the main factor and why they keep getting their asses handed to them. But he is one of those reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You need to eliminate as many. Drag's okay. They need to eliminate every factor that will cost them. If they do not, then they are going to fail. That's just the sad truth. Like right now, we have room for improvement, yes, but we have the edge in quality and quantity. Like, and some people, it's like I can't remember if it's Brandon or whoever, but I think Brandon said, "Well, y'all have the advantage because you go on longer." Yes, but we've been going long for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't even look. Huh? Turn it off. Yeah. I don't even look at that as yes, it's an advantage. The longer we go, the more possibility we are to get more viewers. But it's something we've been doing before we decided to go up against Rant Rave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Because that's the only thing. Like, so if they use that as an excuse against us, well, I'm sorry, that's not a good excuse of why we are winning.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, like I said, we're not changing how we are of that. And plus, honestly, the 3 hours I think still flies by. Like whenever Andrew talks, it's when it drags. Let's be real here. That's when they go. That's when we look at our watches.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And David, I'll tell you the same thing. David, I told you a story of one time when I was on Rant Rave with y'all. There's this one girl who I will not name. Some of you probably know who it is. Someone we all know. But anyway, while the show was going on, she was giving me she was messing with my joystick. How about we say it like that? Anyway.
Oh man.
I waited until the moment that you and Andrew, David, had the two turns to talk. And then I went and plowed her because I knew I wasn't going to miss anything. No offense, but that's the truth of how I looked at it. But yes, true story.
The more I think about it, the more like I've been watching R&R, I think there's one big problem that they just won't address. And that problem is they feel like they're trying to play the same way that it once was, but it's no longer that way anymore.
Yeah, let me mute my mic real quick.
You're good. But and I'm gonna go more into this. But it feels like Rant Rave, they're trying to play the show the same way that they once played it when things were the way they were. When Jordan was there, when Andrew was there more than just as a temporary host. When David was back with the show. They're playing it the same way.
Hey, Paige, I'm gonna have to head out because I gotta finish cleaning up. If you're not doing anything after you're done here,
Yeah.
we'll be doing the till stream at 10 or 10:30. So
Yeah,
probably
mhm.
10:30.
Yeah, we'll be there. Yeah, I'll try to catch it if I can.
All right, brother. Talk to you later. Later, David. Peace.
Take care.
Yeah.
Mhm. But back to what I was saying, it feels like Rant and Rave is still trying to play to what it once was when it's just not that way anymore.
Yeah. They need some changes.
They I'm sorry, but Jordan is gone. He's not coming back to this program, at least for the time being. David, you have decided to part ways with the program. Andrew is back, but almost reluctantly. And Brandon is like the only thing he's the only constant at the moment. But he's not even there right now.
Yeah, because of work.
Yeah. So it's like, why are we still playing this way? Why are we still trying to be this way when we're not these people? This shouldn't be this way.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like one of the reasons why I'm kind of glad, sort of left Rant and Rave because they have the same format every week and the same like topics every week.
Mhm.
and like for real, like the last month I was like running out of topic ideas, and Jordan and everybody else was doing like list of video game sales and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, like when they're doing like those top 15s and top 20s and all.
Yeah, and around that,
no
and
offense,
around that time,
and I hate to cut you off right there, but no offense. But top 10s, top 15s, top 20s, most people aren't interested in those for a good part. For like, if you're gonna like just run it through, but not really take the time to kind of stop and discuss about it, there's nothing interesting about hearing like this top 20, top 10 thing if you can't connect to it. There's nothing interesting about that. There are times when it feels like you got like on Rant and Rave where they're trying to run through topics, but not really take the time and push back and make a conversation with these topics. And that to me is kind of a problem of its own because again, it's a podcast, and and it should feel like it's not just, oh, I'm just listing how I feel about blah blah blah. Like, let's take a step back. Let's have a conversation about blah 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 blah. Like, I'm sorry, but Rant and Rave is still trying to live on something that the heart of it is just been killed. It's been stabbed. It's been brutalized.
And from the past.
They're trying to live off of something that just needs. Basically, it needs to be revived. It basically needs to get those things to the chest to bring it back to life. It can't be the same way that it once was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like for real, like back to what I was saying earlier, the last month I was on, I was kind of running out of idea for topics. Like they really should let the past be the past and come up with something new and interesting, excuse me. Because it's a new era for Rant and Rave. I mean, I really like the interviews. Like I'll give so much credit to Brandon of how he gets these wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
But Mickey, and all that stuff. I don't know how he does it, but they need. I understand they're going through a trial run of hosts, but the thing is, they need to find something for a new format because it's the new era.
Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong. Sometimes a format is just meant to work forever because look at Jeopardy. That's pretty much been played the same throughout its whole lifespan, except for in '78 when they tried to change it and it didn't work. But
And also with the 5-day limit and the no 5-day limit.
Yeah, but the thing is with Rant and Rave, the thing is the format just doesn't work anymore for a few reasons. The main reason, one, is there's live competition. That's, I think, the first reason why this format just doesn't work anymore. I think when this show was running unopposed, I think, if this was a show that was running unopposed and if this was a show on, say, Anchor or something like that, I think it would be fine.
I think they are already on Anchor. Yes, they are already on Anchor. Check your Apple Podcast app.
I'm looking on Anchor. Let's see.
Because I remember listening to episodes on my Apple Podcast app, which is a great application to use, where you can put your settings to your
podcast. Okay. I see Rant and Rave podcast, but they haven't. But I only see the first 28 episodes.
Or 29. Actually.
And they still have you in the description.
Oh my
god! They still
god!
have you and Jordan in the description. Because this, and oh my god, and I'm not kidding. Oh my god, Rant and Rave podcast contains 4 hosts, and contains 4 hosts of Brandon Martin, Jordan Little, Andrew Hawking, and David St. Dennis, as we discuss about news, sports, video games, movies, TVs, pro wrestling, and much, much more, and also exclusive interviews as well. It sounds all fun and dandy, but for the most part,
they need to update
it. They really do need to update this, and the fact that, I think, like I said, like I was talking about earlier, I think if it was an Anchor exclusive kind of show, and if it wasn't running like opposed against someone live, I think the show would work much better.
Yeah.
But you're going live right now. Things have changed, because there is live competition now in front of you. So you have to adjust your format to fit this live competition. It can't just be topic in that same way anymore.
Because that's kind of boring. That's kind of boring over time.
Yeah, the climate is just different. And I think that's, one reason why this format doesn't work right now. And I've already talked about how the people who were once there aren't there anymore. That also is another reason that this format doesn't work. Oh, and speaking of someone who I do a podcast with, oh man, here he is. It's been a while, Danny.
I know.
Mr. Lewis.
Now I didn't have to message you tomorrow. I can just come on here.
Is that your gray shirt?
Yes, yes, it is. It's the 46 T-shirt. Yeah.
I was about to say, me and Danny, we're wearing blue. We're matching with blue shirts, so cooperation is there. The spirit is there.
Hey, Danny, can you give us your thoughts on the Andrew Hawking show that you rave upload them?
The Andrew Hawking show.
Yeah, it's like verbal Benadryl.
For real. It's a good thing to listen to if you can't sleep.
Or if you're or if you're super stoned.
Yeah. I might watch that. I may try that.
Well, actually,
stoned.
The Andrew Hawking show should be called Andrew Hawking Naturally Stoned. Just look at that face. Just look at that face. He looks like, oh my god, he looked like he just came back and just had too many blunts. Like, just look at that face.
You know what? Me and actually, I've heard that when you get stoned, you should watch the Eric Andre show because it's a bunch of nonsense that wouldn't make sense in real life, but when you're stoned, it's really funny, and when you're sober, it's not. If you watch the Eric Andre show.
Oh man.
I
Oh
don't know.
man, and I was just looking at the Chuck Lorre naturally stoned picture, and Andrew
Oh, yeah.
kind of matches that picture. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Here you go. There's Chucky right there for you.
But like, oh my god, like I gotta share this. I got to. Oh man, just look at this image. Look at this image, and just look at the little bit of Andrew. Oh, man.
my god.
I think Andrew looks worse than Chuck is.
Well, at least Chuck realizes that this show is a piece of shit, so he's just like, okay, let's just fuck it. But Andrew, I don't know if he realizes that he needs to just change up. And maybe if he actually took some Benadryl, that'll maybe make the show a little bit more interesting. Because then if he actually falls asleep, then hey, we kind of expect it. But but oh man, but yeah, what we were talking about, and I was talking about Rant and Rave, and I was talking about how the format of Rant and Rave doesn't work anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't work for the way they're doing it. Mainly because one, there's competition now, and they've been kind of swept by Hangman Outcast twice.
Yeah.
And I was saying how, like, if the show was exclusively like the way that we do Lock It In, I think the show it would be much better in that kind of a format, where it's just something that you listen to on Anchor, where if you're just that bored, go for it, knock yourself out. But as a live show, I just don't think
live.
it works. I think the Hangman Outcast has better mastered the livery.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say this. While watching last week, it was like kind of changing the channels from. Do you remember when they had both the town halls of both 45 and 46? Well, Saturday Night Live did a fantastic parody of that, where it simulated that we were the viewer and we were changing channels between that and Jim Carrey as Joe Biden pretending to be Mr. Rogers, and then Alec Baldwin is saying, "What? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm pissed all the time." It was kind of like that, because I'm watching Rant and Rave, and the intro. Eric's like, "Okay, we're ready to start," and Andrew's like, "No, you have to play the opening sequence. You have to play the opening sequence," and then you can barely hear it. That's not a knock on Eric. It's okay. Eric's a nice guy, but and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna switch to Hangman Outcast, and then there's like 10 of them on the call talking to that. I don't even remember what it was, but it was crazy. I was just like, yeah, I'm done for the week. Good luck.
That is one thing I will say about the Hangman Outcast. I do think Charlie needs to maybe wait to bring in some people.
Yeah, because they had like 9 of them on the call.
Like,
it's like Hollywood Squares.
We don't need Hollywood Squares every single episode.
Yeah.
Because
And it gets too crowded.
Because after a while, there's only so much you can do with X's and O's.
Yeah. So,
But Danny, how's Walgreens?
It's fantastic. I just hope that hopefully everything stays safe in the coming weeks.
why explain that, Damon?
No, if I explain that, I'm gonna get in trouble. But Walgreens, now they're giving out their COVID vaccine, so if you can schedule a vaccine to do it there. Now, I have no idea. I'm not in charge of that. That's for the pharmacy employees. I'm just a customer service associate, which is a fancy term for cashier. And occasionally I'm putting stuff on the shelves and finding it. Okay, this thing goes where it's got the barcode on it, and I got to put it up. And now I left the restaurant because it was too much of a hustle and too many things going on at one time. Walgreens, it's like a hustle, but it's on a much smaller scale because there's not as many places I have to go to. And, I can put certain things on hold while putting a customer out. Taking a customer out.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I used to be that sales associate, but now I'm kind of more of a sales advisor. So,
Hmm.
maybe I'll talk about that one day. From associate to advisor.
That's what you should call your book.
I have thought about that. I have thought about writing that. I have thought about that as a working title, like from associate to advisor.
At least
Going from the guy
don't make it
registered to the guy selling stuff to people.
yeah. It would be
Oh,
a better
right.
it would be even a better transition than from crack addict to CEO.
Or
Or it'd be better than from Andrew to from David. From Andrew to David.
well, speaking of books, you still have that number 45 book thing.
Oh, I do. Yes. But that was before he was. That was when he was just a businessman. That was before he got crazy of being in power. That was.
Oh yeah. Speaking of books, I bought on Amazon not so long ago. I bought the Encyclopedia of TV Game Shows.
Oh, awesome.
So I'm waiting for that to come in.
Nice.
And well, speaking of Lockett, here's my idea. I want to do either an episode about Hollywood Square, since we just had the anniversary for that should be coming up, and an episode talking about Whose Line Is It Anyway, which is a show that I've loved for a long time, and I'm now falling back in love with it as we speak.
I like both shows. So
I would like to see the lines in it anyway.
Yep.
Now, David,
Well,
have you ever watched Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes, I have.
Okay. That's all we need to know.
He said he watched the Drew Carey version.
Yes.
Okay.
Including the games. One of my favorite games was the Scene from the Hat one.
Scenes from a Hat, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think my personal favorite game of all time will be Hoedown.
Oh yeah.
I gotta be honest.
Oh boy. But it's a good show. I think if it was ever brought back, I think it'll be good for a reboot.
Well, newsflash, it still is on. It's still on in new episodes on the CW network.
It's been on since
what
2013 or so. It's been on for a while, David.
Well, I meant the Drew Carey version, like the one from
well, the
like that
difference, that's literally the only difference. The newer version, it's the same cast
That's
and a few new members, but there's no Drew Carey.
It's just I should say Tyler, and she's honestly pretty good at the host.
I think so too.
She doesn't do the comedy stuff like Drew, but as a host, she's straightforward. So
absolutely.
I thought the show I thought it's like not going around.
Oh no, it's been going on for the better part of since 2013 or so. It's been going on for a while now.
What channel is it? What channel is it on?
It's on the CW.
Yeah, it's on the CW. Mm-hmm. You can probably find it. You can probably find it online because I remember there's one point where there's a site that you can kind of stream all these seasons of.
That's probably why I never saw it before because I don't think I have that channel.
But you know what other show that CW has that's pretty. Well, CW has a lot. Well, CW
they have a lot of niche. They have a lot of niche shows. Am I saying that right? Niche.
Yeah, niche. They have a lot of niche stuff. I know over here you can watch Maury and Jerry Springer on the CW.
Jerry Springer.
Yeah. But you can also watch Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Yes. Yeah.
That's an interesting show, and you can watch Jane the Virgin. I think that show's still on, but I remember that.
Oh yeah, I remember that show.
But they don't have too much in the game show department. It's more like
reality.
It's reality and odds and ends like that.
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention to reality stuff. the only like type of reality show I watch is Survivor and Big Brother.
But depending on who you ask, Whose Line Is It Anyway could classify as a game show, technically.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
well, there's people who don't think that Love Connection is a game show. So
Meh.
Hmm.
because there are many people who don't believe that you can't win a date.
Well, the dating game did a better job of that, but Love Connection, I just found Love Connection to be boring. But Baggage, on the other hand, I loved it because you found out dirty secrets of people and.
Oh yeah,
And that
I
show
made
is
I made Jen watch Baggage with me a few times. Not gonna lie.
You're like, hey, aren't you glad I'm not as bad as these idiots?
Oh man,
but
I don't
and
know if
also
she's not here after I said that, but yeah, because this was back when like they started doing the Pluto stuff. Like they started doing that Game Show Central and Pluto. So like they would
Oh,
like
okay.
so they would just play Baggage like nonstop at night.
Oh yeah.
So I would just and the only thing about it though was they wouldn't put on new episodes for like the longest time, and it was frustrating to a great extent. But I would just stay up for like that little bit of time, and I would just binge watch a lot of Baggage.
Oh yeah.
One, because I had nothing better to do, and because sleep just wasn't happening at that time. And two, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember watching the show when I was younger. When I first found out about it, I'm like, oh, this show is actually kind of interesting.
Now, the thing about Game Show Central is that came out pretty much at the start of COVID because they were like, hey, everyone's in their house, let's make a new channel. And
Yeah.
I watched it for about 5 days, and then I'm just like, okay, back to tape trading. The novelty wore off of me really quickly.
It really did. Well, they didn't have much. The thing was, they didn't have much interesting on there to begin with, because it was mostly just GSN. It was all GSN originals. Why did I say mostly? It was all GSN originals.
Well,
And-
they had Friend or Foe, but they didn't have Roulette. They had Cram, but they didn't have Lingo.
I wish they had. I don't know if they still have Roulette on the thing, but if they ever had Roulette on the channel, I would definitely watch it.
Well, yeah, so would a lot of people, but I don't know. They never did it.
Yeah, because
man,
GSN doesn't listen to us.
Russian roulette is in high demand. Oh man, if there's ever a topic that I think we should talk about down the road, lock it in. It's definitely revitalizing GSN.
Yes. And another thing about GSN, they won't bring wrestling up because they don't listen to us. Just like how they decided to add wrestling to game shows, which is crazy.
What they
Hey,
should
it
do
just
is
shows
make
you that anything is possible in 2021.
Yeah, they should make a game show for WWE 2K20, and if you lose, you have to spend an hour alone in a room with Jordan Little or Mr. Low IQ bitch.
Oh god. Okay, well Jordan, as long as he doesn't talk about certain things, Jordan would be tolerable, I would say. But then again, Jordan spends most of his life in a room anyways, so that doesn't seem
that's the life.
Yeah, like that's already his life. So
Yes.
to him, he's just living the dream. But to you, that's like, oh my god, I'm in hell for another hour. But
I mean, I go outside. I mean, you see,
Well,
Like
I hope that during this break, Jordan does get some sunlight. 'Cause
oh yeah.
he could use it.
No, he could use some sunlight. He could use a freshly cooked meal from the barbecue. Maybe sit back in a sun chair, lay back, let the sun get on you. Maybe not for too long, because then you'll get sunburned forever, and then you'll look like this. But
he needs to go outside. It's healthy for him, to be honest.
Yeah,
but yeah, get out that house, get outside.
Yes, and if you're outside, you can listen to Lock It In.
and you can also do it inside.
Your favorite show.
And if there's a high demand for it, we'll put it on cassette tapes and 8-track and all that.
Hmm.
And what else he should listen to? Well, that is a good question.
Listen to the Hangman Outcast and
Or the track,
Listen to the
or
Hangman
the
Outcast decimate his old show. But yeah.
or
But
the
although,
Dread Cow podcast, but that's it.
nah, screw that.
although speaking of speaking of Danny's Redbubble, I'm probably gonna make another purchase
Oh,
maybe soon.
Oh, okay.
Because that Lock It In book is getting pretty full.
oh yeah, you got to get another one.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna need another one. But mainly because like when I'm at work, I just get so bored sometimes. So I write a bunch of game show stuff, and sometimes I'm just so surprised at how much I know, and I'm like, oh wow, I knew
Wow.
that. I'm like, oh,
Even I don't do that.
because like the other day, I was like, I wrote down like all the letters of the alphabet, and I tried to write something about game shows for every single letter.
That's funny.
One, because it was that slow during the workday, so I had to do something to keep my mind busy for like an hour or two. Because the first 2 hours, I'm all right, but then once hour 3 hits, I'm bored a little bit. I'm bored a little bit. Like after I come back from my 15, I'm bored for a little bit. So I start thinking of something that I can do to pass the time. So I pull out my book and I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna write down every single letter and I'm gonna think about something about games for every letter. And I think there's only 3 letters that I couldn't come up with something for. I think there's only 3 or 2. But it's actually harder than you think.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I would want to even do that.
Well, I'm pretty sure you definitely want to do that because you got Polka. Because you probably be doing that for Polka.
I could do that for Polka, honestly.
Yeah.
But David, I'm definitely gonna challenge you to do that.
Well, challenge Andrew to do that actually.
Pass.
Well, if I do that for Andrew, he'll write stone for every single letter. And that's why I'm challenging you, David, because with you, David, it'll be interesting because I want to see. Because the thing is, I never know how much you know about game shows, and there's a part of me that's like worried that like one day, maybe 3 years, that you're just gonna come and you're just gonna whip out something about me that I don't know, and I'm like, oh shit, I actually didn't know that.
Speaking of stone, I think I have the perfect nickname for Andrew. Here we go. Let me put it in my nickname area.
Oh, well, would you like to hear some Polka news I found lately?
Oh, God. What? There we go.
Andrew the Stone. Okay. Oh, yes.
Now, what's the
Well,
name?
actually, I think the name actually works better. 1 second, when you do it like this. 1 second. Like I always say, Dave, if you're gonna do it right.
Oh.
There we go.
Yes. Now I'll put that on the nickname of my server. Or actually, could I do on your server?
Do it on both.
Yes.
Now, Paige, would you like to hear the latest news in polka music?
Go ahead, Polka Boy.
Well, my good buddy Walter Ostanek from St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, kind of close to Andrew, but not that close. He's gonna be 86 on 420, so that's two reasons to celebrate 420. Speaking of stone, then there you go. That's serendipity there. And then we got but I talked to Walter Ostanek on the phone on the 9th, and he said he got his first COVID shot on I think April 2nd or 3rd or sometime in that week, but he gets a second one on July 3rd. So that shows you in Canada they're really bridging a gap in between the first and second shot, which is a lot faster here in the States.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
so
got the
that's-
Pfizer.
You got
Pfizer.
Pfizer. Yes.
Yes.
And yeah, so let's hope everything can go well and everyone can do their part, so I can meet Walter Ostanek Thanksgiving 2021 in Cleveland, Ohio, at the
Hmm.
big Thanksgiving porta party. So,
Good luck with that.
thank you.
And when you get there, just ask them about Poker and Rebel. That's all I need to do.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't know about Redbubble, but
But David, I think I'm gonna have the job for you coming up soon because I think
Hmm.
because I could use your promotion skills to the
Nah.
full advantage. For a show that we have called a little Lock It In,
yes.
and we could make you our promotional producer.
Really.
Yay. Accepted.
Because I'm pretty sure, knowing you, you've been wanting to get involved with such project for quite some time,
Yes.
Yes, sir.
and you are
What's the
such a
funny thing?
promotion machine.
Yeah, he's the king of self-promotion.
Because not only can he self-promote himself in only 1,000 words minimum, but he's effective and he's a machine.
Yeah,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Like if I had to take a drink for every time David self-promoted himself, I'd be on the ground dead.
Yeah, you'd be in the body bag. But when in need, he gets the job done.
Yes.
He gets the job done. He's reliable and he's perfect for the job.
Yes.
And
And
yeah,
the
look at
fact that
this.
I'm already working behind the scenes with David in certain regards.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of promotion, just look at the Thursday Night Wars. There's the answer.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because it's funny. The minute David started to not promote R&R is the moment the show went down the drain.
Yeah.
And Brandon doesn't even do the promotion correctly, to be honest.
Oh hey, because they had you, the promotion machine.
Yeah, David
Yes.
used to prepare that one, but now that they don't have you anymore.
Because-
What else?
The only time
And plus-
it's funny because it's the only time I'll ever get 5 notifications for the same thing at once. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's because I'm like, oh, here we go, live
Oh,
at 8/7
okay,
Central.
well,
You
but
can watch
hey.
Random Rave Podcast where we have our topics, and I'll be with
hey, but at the end of the day, you can't knock the man's hustle. Can't knock the man's hustle. Pretty soon he'll be selling fried fish to people, being like, I don't know about you, but I call this good.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh man. But anyways, I think I'm about to head over to Hey Man Charlie's stream.
By the way, him Charlie.
By the way,
Oh, man.
is he live right now?
Yeah,
I
he
believe
is.
so.
I'm gonna do a record.
Oh, should we do multicast?
I'm about to
Let's crash the stream.
oh yeah, I'm about to hop in there. Oh. Let me turn my phone so I can get a new angle.
Well, Paige, you missed semantics today because we played a game called Panel Quiz Attack. Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, I heard of. Oh yeah. Oh, you guys played that game again?
Yeah, we played it on the other guy's server. And,
Oh, okay.
it was fun.
Yeah, we all know what happened.
So yeah. All right. So yeah, I'm about to head in there. Enter.
That's trying to get me to vape. I never got into vape because I don't like how it's too easy. You can charge it, you just have to put the juice in, and boom, you're good. you don't have that same feeling. The burning sensation of smoking a cigarette. Let's see who's coming in now. Oh, we got another one.
Hey.
We know he's in with the beach.
So you like the burning sensation is what you're saying?
Oh man.
Like that, like the feeling of like the light. I just said, I told him, I said, it's like
Hey,
e-cigarettes or fucking vapes or fucking like having digital. Because it's more convenient, it's easier. Because all you have to do is turn on your TV or look in your phone and boom, you can watch a movie there. With a cigarette, you have to pull it out, light it, and then go from there. Same thing with a DVD or Blu-ray or a game. You get the disc out, you put it in, and all that, and then it's all that stuff. I look at it the easy way in terms of vaping, and there's no burning sensation, but again, and plus also, like I said, there's so many. I don't think, I always think someone who vapes is kind of, I don't know, poser in a way. I'm an old school guy, so I like you pulling out a cigarette and then you fucking getting your Zippo lighter, fucking flipping it up and then lighting it and flipping it back down.
When did you start
I
smoking?
guess I'm a stickler for those. See, I started when I was 16. But I didn't really start like really smoking like constantly until I was about 20. So I kind of on and off smoked from 16 to 20, and then I pretty much got addicted at 20. So, and here we are.
And how much does
Cigarettes more like cancer sticks. Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's right. He's right about that.
What are you gonna tell them that you're on with us?
how much does it cost you nowadays
About
per
to.
pack, or how much you spend?
Well, you like before they start having these like cheaper cigarettes, which are like to me, you don't really difference between this and a pack of Newports. For a carton, because I usually get cartons. For a carton, it costs me $40, and that usually lasts me about 10 days because I smoke a pack a day. If
Well, I can't. Well, the thing is, Charlie, I was about to tell you, I'm live right now on my side on YouTube, but apparently you can't even be live enough on your side that you can't last the whole program. But
okay, I'm back.
oh, there he is.
Fucking internet over here. It's like Broadway near 410 area.
See,
It fucking
see.
sucks. In terms of the Wi-Fi connection. It doesn't matter. I switch it from different angles and all that stuff. Just like something interrupts it constantly. But like I was saying, it costs me, like I said, $40 for a carton, which
I
is
can
still like
configure it.
cheaper than regular like Marlboros or fucking Newports. Those cost about $70 a carton. So imagine 10 cigarettes, $30. So you're saving $30 on a cheaper, more like all that. So I do that because really the regular cigarettes, like you go with the cheap ones. I smoke Newports because I like them strong, you know. But I smoke red non-menthol. I hate menthols unless I'm sick. Like Dan, I have Dan XP. I know like when I met him, like he vapes, but he does. He smokes one of my cigarettes. He smokes on occasion from what I see. So like like I knew he vaped because when I won the first time I saw him on camera, he quit cold. I remember you telling me about that gesture. Honestly, vaping looks gay as fuck.
Yeah, Dan used to smoke cigarettes when I first met him. I was like, mostly smoking, no vaping whatsoever.
Yeah, see, I could kind of like.
Oh man, oh man, he's lagging again. Oh man.
There's some spots in San Antonio where it's just bad signal.
Yeah, like there's gonna be another time when I'm on the bus where it's gonna be like that, but that will be an issue.
It's okay, Charlie. Don't worry. Don't worry about that, Charlie. I can do 2 shows at once. It's all good.
Let me turn front of the camera, so maybe it's a little bit easier sort of thing. I'm just trying to get to a certain place I can sit, and then hopefully the connection won't be as bad.
You took off work?
Yeah, I just got off. I was still working when I was on Paige's stream with fucking David. We were practically roasting Andrew, but ridiculous. Not just roasting for the sake of roasting, like, you know.
Oh yeah, we're still
Andrew for not liking strippers.
we're still roasting Andrew, by the way.
Are you still alive?
Yeah, I'm still live.
I heard you say something about 2 shows, and I was like,
Yeah, I'm live right now on my stream, and I'm on your stream right now.
He's on a 2-in-1.
you're doing the Tom, where Tom sometimes is live on 2 different platforms. David, fuck, come over to our show, you schmuck.
Like, oh yeah. Oh man, of course, because if anything, we're working on changing the Andrew Hawking show to Andrew Hawking Naturally Stoned. We're doing our best to make that show something relevant on the internet. No, but Andrew Hawking fits the show perfectly. Just trust me.
No. Here's the name of the show. Bone Town 69, starring Andrew Hawking.
And Go Power Rangers.
No, the show is.
That's his new.
No, well, first of all, we need to change Andrew Hawking's name. His name needs to be something like Mr. Quickie. Mr. Quickie. That's the perfect name for him. Mr. Quickie.
What would be good, like Latino name?
Mr. Quickie. And then we need to have something. And then and then it's brought to you, Mr. Quickie, brought to you by Go Power Rangers.
Yes. Speaking of which, merchandising.
Or you gotta be like Esteban de la Sex Face or something.
Power Rangers,
I'll take the name.
I have the game Battle for the Grid for the Switch, and you're having the Street Fighter pack come out. That means,
Oh, nice.
yeah, that means Ryu as Crimson Hawk Ranger and Chun-Li as Blue Phoenix Ranger will be part of the game, and that'll be next month. They'll come out next month, May 25th. Street Fighter pack. I'm going to get it. I can't wait. Only for about what I can do. And the gameplay of that was, I saw it.
But anyways, we're gonna end this on this side. I'm muted and my camera's off over there. So, anyways, I'm gonna transfer over. I'm gonna go full time on chilling with the Gallows. Until then, we will see you next. Oh man, they signed me out. Sons of a bitch.
What? What just happened?
They signed me out. Those son of a bitches. But anyways, we'll see you next. We'll see you next. We'll see you next week for another edition of the Cold Open. But we'll see you then. Until then, for Mr. Andrew Hawking, Naturally Stoned, and for the one only Polka Boy Danny Lewis himself, this is the P1 saying we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
And don't forget to get a vasectomy. Bye bye.